What is vibin', everyone? This is Vish, and today I will be reacting to Sadhguru's video on how to make children look up to you. I am a meditation coach and I've been meditating for the past 2 years and have guided over hundreds of people in their meditation journeys. And today my goal is to spread awareness to the world with meditation and also just share all these nuggets of wisdom and spirituality that I learned from people like Sadhguru or Eckhart Tolle. And Sadhguru has been a huge inspiration in this journey, and I'm super excited to share that with you. So for this video, I'm going to be watching it with y'all and then also stopping it from time to time just to break down parts of what I learned as well as questions that I have. And hopefully this video will help you understand what Sadhguru is saying better. There is no question that Sadhguru does say it very well. It's just another perspective on an analysis as well as understanding by a meditation coach, which could hopefully shed better light and clarity to these videos. So with that, let's get straight into the video.
A child in many ways is an impression of…
Okay, before I continue, I have to say these kids are looking super cute. I'm not sure where they're from. I'm assuming somewhere in India, but just these pictures, man, kids in general are just so innocent looking and very cute, and I just had to say that.
all the adults who impact his life, particularly the parents, teachers, and others. If you want your children to be of a certain quality, the foremost thing that you need to pay attention to is, are you exuding that quality? What endears a child to everyone is that he's an exuberant life and a bundle of joy most of the time unless you call…
I have to say, something that I observed and have seen in many other videos include the laugh of Sadhguru, and it really just goes to show that joy and exuberance that he's talking about that kids have, and he seems to embody as well still today, and very interesting to see that. And just compared to adults in today's world, how they just all seem miserable, and this man, I'm not sure how old he is, but I would say pretty old, and he still embodies that joyfulness of a little kid.
Was misery to him. If you want to nurture a child, you must be far more exuberant than the child and much more joyful, then the child is drawn to you. Once the child is drawn to you, it's for you to mold the child as you want. Right now, most children avoid adults because most of them are not exuberant by any standards, neither joyful, mostly stressed and complaining about their work, about their family, about the world, about everything.
He is so right. All of the adults that I've looked at, I would say a good 95%. I have seen a few rare instances where the adults are joyful and exuberant, but just through observation, even just students and friends of mine that are, what, 20, 21, 22, just seem miserable, and he's completely right. I have to say, right on, Sadhguru, right on.
Why would a child want to have anything to do with you? When child sees you don't represent life, you represent some other vested interest. If you are interested in really being an impact on your children, you must represent life because they are just life. They have not become other conceited things as you could have. They are simply life. You must represent life. Feeding upon so-called inanimate things like food, water and air, life is an exuberant expression of existence. If you do not represent that exuberance, if you do not show that exuberance in your work, in your relaxation, in everything that you do and do not do, then your child will be least impacted by you. And that is a good thing, because if you're so dead serious about your life and you represent other vested interests of your money or your status or your prestige or something like this, then it is best that the child is not impacted by these things. So if you are really concerned about impacting your child, What is it that your child want to be? Please become that to start with.
Wow, that was a very short and sweet video on how to impact children and how to parent. So overall, it was a beautiful, beautiful video and something that I would love to learn from. I know I am 21 years old and not a parent yet. However, this is a video that I will surely be sharing with the parents. Having said all of that, what I understood from this video was really the idea of setting an example for the kids. I mean, there are for sure many responsibilities that we have in this world, the physical world that is, with regards to money and all sorts of matters, whether it's your career and so on. But according to him, I mean, he compares it to just the other beautiful life forms that exist, whether it's a butterfly or just nature in general. We're all expressions of life. We, by ourselves, from another video which he's talked about, I think Eckhart's talked about this as well. And it's the idea that we don't have a life, but we are a part of life. We're expressions of life. We are expressions of the universe. And that really helps put into perspective how we don't have to view the selves as the egoic entity to the point where it's like me, I, all those things, which in the grand scheme of things almost put ourselves at competition with the universe. And as Sadhguru talks about in many other videos, it's really important to not compete with the universe, because it's really something you can't win at, and instead to become one with the universe through a practice called yoga. Now, yoga is a practice that is not just the moving and twisting of the body as he talks about. By the way, I do have to emphasize and mention that all these things that I'm saying are inspired by Sadhguru. These aren't ideas that I'm expressing from the self. But to go off of that real quick, I do have to say that he himself has mentioned how information in general that we tend to talk about is all recycled at the end. I don't really think anyone owns information and owns knowledge and owns wisdom. It's all about sharing what's already inside us. So with that, I really want to just conclude this video by thanking him for the amazing, simple and short and sweet advice to parents and how to parent. I mean, it really comes down to setting the example of being joyful, being exuberant, because once you do that, whatever you do in life, you will excel at. It's just simple logic at that point. If you're joyfully doing the dishes, if you're joyfully doing the garbage, if you're joyfully running a company, obviously consciously too, not just dumb joyfulness, but conscious joyfulness, you will be exceeding and doing amazing things with whatever you're doing. And at the end of the day, in life, what Eckhart talks about and is especially emphasized in his book, The Power of Now, all that we have is this present moment, the power of now, this moment. There is no next moment, because the next moment becomes this moment. Even as I talk to you, this is the moment that we're in. And the reason why that's super important is because being joyful is a dimension that we should exercise throughout life, because all we have is this moment, which is internal. And there is no point being miserable and stressed out. These are all things that are choices that we make. And now I'm sure you're thinking, I didn't choose to be stressed, I didn't choose to be anxious. Yes, to an extent you didn't choose those things directly or consciously, but unconsciously a bunch of behaviors and habits have contributed to those feelings that rise. And therefore, the simple solution to that is just to be more conscious in life. And one path of doing that is yoga, as Sadhguru talks about. And I would definitely recommend you all check out his programs online. There is an inner engineering program which I will be making another video on and sharing that journey. And so there are tools out there. It's all about using the tool, just like he talks about with the idea of reading the user manual before you start. Just like cameras have a user manual, the computer you're sitting on right now or the phone that you have a user manual. It's important to read that and know how it works before you just use something, or it's just gonna be messed apart. And that's how a lot of human beings are in today's world. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and the response I had on how to make children look up to you by Sadhguru. Take it joyfully, stay conscious, and make it a great day.